Yo, 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 yo. Big Cash back up in here. Now, for those that don't know, MF Doom, listen, he's a legend in the hip hop industry, hip hop community. But did you know that MF Doom did not mess around with Diddy, man? Yeah, check this out. We got culture covered. We about to be reacting to this video. I'm going to read y'all the title. Check this out. MF Doom last message about Diddy, why they eliminated him. This is about to get wild, y'all. This about to get wild, man. I'm telling you. People about to start coming out more and more about Diddy. I'm telling you. Before we get into that, y'all make sure y'all pick y'all up a copy of Street Dad, Geek Dad, Avoiding the Manufactured Mindset, written by me, Big Kish. The link will be in the description. Y'all know I'm like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
I looked up to MF Doom in particular a lot because his come up was kind of strange, you know? He kind of was in the industry, and then he left the industry because of tragedy, and then he came back almost like on some revenge something. I don't know.
I bought it on vinyl. I didn't even have a record player. I bought it on vinyl just to stare at the album. And I stared at it and I just kept going, I understand.
If you were to choose a career and or fan base, which one would you rather have, Drake or MF Doom? Drake obviously is a massive star, but I don't think he ever really had an MF Doom type fan base or MF Doom type fans. There were people
MF Doom had a cult-like fan base, man.
who would save money, buy a ticket, make arrangements to go to a Doom show. They would use PTO, take time off work, take the time to travel there. Doing all of that, knowing Doom may not even be there when they show up.
Mike Flynn today, it was the old MF Doom line. Snitches telling all their business, sitting in court and being their own star witness.
The late, great MF Doom was one of the few rappers who straight up rejected the music industry. Not just didn't fit in, but he actively outsmarted it. He refused the money, mocked the machine, and yet he still built a massive fan base and became your rapper's favorite rapper. But here's something that doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to Doom. He was actually one of the first ones to warn us about Diddy. Doom also openly criticized the manufactured image of the rap industry and claimed the music was hijacked by corporate interests. Now here's where it gets interesting.
The manufactured image. Check it out.
There are rumors that Diddy actually tried to collaborate with Doom in the early 2000s. Whether it was for a Bad Boy project or something more behind the scenes, we don't know. But what is known is that Doom wanted nothing to do with it. Doom eventually moved back to the UK, stopped doing interviews, and started sending lookalikes to shows instead of going himself. Sadly, Doom passed away in October 2020, right in the middle of the COVID lockdown, and barely anyone in the industry said a word. What made it even more tragic is that Doom's wife, Jasmine, wasn't even allowed to visit him until the day he died because of COVID hospital restrictions. His death stayed private for 2 whole months, and the cause of death wasn't revealed until July 2023. So let's talk about Doom's legacy.
Yeah, it was some crazy stuff. I remember looking at a little documentary about his passing and stuff like that. It did seem weird, y'all.
And what he really knew about the music industry. And if the rumors are true that he turned down Diddy, it makes you wonder, was Doom just ahead of his time, or did he know too much? Let's get into this.
You know what I would say? Follow your heart. There's number one rule. Follow your heart.
So there are some new rumors making the rounds among MF Doom fans that Doom was approached by Diddy in the early 2000s and offered some kind of collab or deal. But of course, Doom didn't just turn the offer down, he laughed it off. People close to the scene say he was straight up disgusted by everything Diddy stood for in hip hop. See, where Diddy turned rap into a business empire, Doom treated it like a sacred art form. Remember, Diddy told us himself, "Don't worry if I write rhymes, I write checks." Well, that one sentence summed up everything Doom was against. He wore a metal mask inspired by the Marvel Comics supervillain Dr. Doom. He rapped under fake names, sampled old cartoons, and refused to make radio hits, all as a way to expose how shallow the industry had become.
Yeah, the whole mask thing, really, all right, it's a time in hip hop where things, from my point of view, started going more to what things look like opposed to what things sound like. You know what I mean? Before, we ain't know what MCs look like until we went to the party and seen them rocking, you know what I'm saying? Or seen them, you know, Most time you see him rock on at a show before you even knew. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, before video, pre-video. You know, so you really was going off the sound of the record.
Y'all remember who else used to not reveal their face? Ghostface. Ghostface Killer ain't nothing. He ain't used to reveal his face neither. He always had something over his face. It was like hip hop was just like this, you know what I'm saying? Like this mysterious thing. You had to feel the lyrics. They painted a picture. You know what I'm saying?
Straight skills. See, once it started getting more publicized and, it started being hip-hop, started being more of a money-making thing, then you get these corporate ideas where you want to put what it looks like to sell what it sounds like. But we dealing with music. So what I did was I said, all right, look, I'm going to come with the angle of it don't matter what I look like. It don't matter what the artist look like. It's more what the artist sound like. So the mask really represents the whole, like, to rebel against the trying to sell the product as a human being. You know what I mean? It's more of a sound. So, and at the same time, it's something different. You know what I'm saying? And it fits with the theme of the rebel, the villain, where, to him, he don't care about the fame and all that shit. There's no consequence. You know what I mean? It's more of the message of what's being said. So I think it helps people focus more on what's being said. And it's still entertaining. It's still like the theater, and it has the appeal of, something that could be considered entertaining, but that message is still there. That, villain represents anybody. Anybody in here could wear the mask and be the villain. Male, female, any race, so-called race, you know what I mean? It's about where you coming from your heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the message? What you got to say?
To Doom, rap wasn't about chasing luxury or selling out. It was about language, rhythm, ideas, stories, not image. He criticized the way the industry had...
About using your mind. About using your mind. Your mind is a powerful, man. Very, very powerful.
Flip the script, putting lyrics and the message last and making it all about branding, ego, and spectacle. And while Doom may have played the villain, when it came to advice for young people and aspiring artists, he was grounded and constantly encouraged folks to chase their creative dreams. But he was clear about one thing: never compromise your morals and ethics. To Doom, success meant doing it your way, not selling yourself out for approval or a paycheck. He warned artists not to get sucked into the industry's trap, and he believed that staying on the righteous path was worth more than any deal.
Within moral and ethical, like reasoning, I stay at it and go at it. So it's like straight shot. The straight line being the path of the righteous, which it translates in Arabic. It's Siratul Mustaqim, the Sarat they call it, the filament. It's the path. They say it's the Siratul Mustaqim, the path of the righteous. It's not easy to balance on that string though. It's a lot of discipline involved.
Discipline.
Morals.
It's about keep working on yourself. I always said work on yourself. It's about the discipline. Yes, you're going to get knocked down because this earth is wicked. You know what I'm saying? We born into sin. But our job throughout life is to correct it as much as possible. And God is going to give you grace. Or you got to keep asking him for grace. Keep asking him to live. So as much as you're living, you're going to be correcting it. Yo, I'm telling you, man. This is why people follow him so much, man, because he spoke the truth.
Ethics. But if you keep within that path, you will hit your goal. That's the most direct path to any goal or so-called dream that you could ever have. Your goal should be your dream.
Obviously, this mindset couldn't be more opposite from someone like Diddy. While Doom was out here warning young folks not to sell their souls, Diddy was practically handing out contracts written in blood.
Do you think that people really know you? No, people don't really know me, and that's by design. Who is this person, the Sean Combs, that we don't know? We have yet to find out. Right. You have to come along for the ride. You have to come. I mean, that's the whole part of the journey. That's the whole part of entertainment. I mean, you don't rock with a brother for like going on 20 years and stop now. You got to see this movie all the way through, baby. Believe me, I got an action-packed ending for you.
Unlike Doom, who...
Oh, yeah, it's action-packed, all right. Baby oil all over the goddamn place.
talked about the importance of staying on the path of the righteous, Diddy was out here openly bragging about manipulating and controlling people to get them to do what he wanted.
You ever been my before?
I don't think so.
I'm my you right now.
You are?
What is mind?
Mind is in control of a situation that the other person doesn't realize that you're in control of.
Ooh.
And they never really realized you were in control of it.
Diddy made his name off of shiny suits, ghostwriters, and exploiting artists, all while building a billionaire empire. He took Biggie's death and turned it into a brand. He launched Making the Band, where he had starving artists walk across the Brooklyn Bridge for cheesecake just to prove loyalty. He treated women like dirt, probably because he wanted to be one. This is a man who became the face of hip-hop capitalism by squeezing everything he could out of the culture.
He treated women like dirt, probably because he wanted to be one. Drake, same way. Same way.
Even if it meant breaking people in the process. And then behind the scenes, the rumors get even darker, involving allegations of black magic and satanic rituals.
Diddy's bodyguard named Gene Deal, who used to bodyguard for him back in the day, as you can see in this picture in the background, straight up said Diddy is a demon.
But dude is a demon, bro. Dude is a demon. I realized he was a demon at Shine trial. And I don't care what nobody say, man. And like, when people still talk and keep on talking, if that priest ever come out and he talking, if people keep talking, you'll find out that a lot of that Gene Deal has said has been the truth and nothing but the truth. I was there. I was there when that priest or whoever he was rubbed that stuff on his head, put his hand on top of him, told him to grab the bird out the cage, the white dove, and he threw the dove in the air, and the dove acted like he ain't have no wings and hit the fucking ground. Boom!
Ooh.
That motherfucker started walking my way. I'm looking like this, bro. I'm like, and he just walked past me. Like he didn't even see me. We going to the same place.
Now, no.
Ooh. He said the dove, he told him to let the dove free. The dove, dang. That's wild. He probably was breaking the wings or something like that while he was holding them. Oh, man.
Notice he mentioned a priest. Then he said something was rubbed on Diddy. Clearly that was oil. Because then he went into an animal, a dove, being thrown up in the air, and the dove was dead. That was a sacrifice, Gene. You probably don't know what that was. Probably don't read the Bible that much, but in Leviticus, it talks about that. That was a sacrifice being done by a priest or someone who calls himself a priest. However, in Hebrews, God says that those sacrifices he never wanted. We are meant to understand that the sacrifices are within us. Therefore, people who are still doing that in the physical are acting out of a satanic place. It's a ritual that was being done.
Yeah, because in the beginning, God ordered the people to do sacrifices like if they sin. But when Christ came, all the sacrifices were done. You had to sacrifice. That's what grace came in at. And that's what, because Christ showed us how to walk. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep repenting. That was the sacrifice. God was like, nah, y'all ain't even doing it right. Then the people was being wicked. Like they would just sacrifice stuff that wasn't according to the law at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Done for Diddy. A satanic ritual.
So when you look at how far Diddy was willing to go for power, the contrast with MF Doom becomes almost spiritual. Diddy's name has been tied to all kinds of dark rumors. And yeah, he liked to talk about God, but let's be real. He never specified exactly what God he was serving.
And I believe in God, so my God could do anything.
Meanwhile, MF Doom was tapped into something way deeper. His spirituality wasn't flashy. It was quiet and personal. Doom was raised Muslim, and his family practiced Islam. His father was from Zimbabwe, and his mother was a Trinidadian Muslim convert. In interviews, Doom acknowledged his Muslim background, but he didn't make a big show of it. He preferred to focus on universal laws like trusting the Creator's plan and believing in what you put out comes back. Doom avoided the preachy tone. He kept it cryptic, slipping spiritual ideas into metaphors and subtle references in his lyrics. Doom was also exposed to the ideas of the 5% Nation, a movement both of his parents were involved in. In 5% teachings, the whole world is split into three groups. The 85% of people who are unaware and easily controlled. The 10% know the truth but use it to manipulate and keep the masses down. And then the 5% who are the true righteous teachers, who spread knowledge and fight oppression.
The mathematics, as the 5% Nation will call it, when they say 5%, right, the original meaning they had was that out of all the people in the world, only 5% of the world knew the truth, lived the truth, teach the truth. There's another 10% of the world who also knows the truth, will use the truth against others and trick knowledge and ways like that to manipulate the other 85% who are just sheep to be led this way or led that way. They say at any given moment, we could take 100 people and it'll be 5 out of that 100 that's going to really be pure people. Maybe the other 10 are wise, but they're using their wisdom to make hustles off it. That was the original meaning of it.
So if you look at the MF Doom versus Diddy story through this lens, it fits almost too perfectly. Diddy would definitely fit the description of the 10%, the savvy industry mogul who knows how the game works, but uses that knowledge to build an empire at the expense of others. He's the puppet master, the one exploiting the system, putting money and power over.
Their job is to get people like MF Doom to turn away from their true beliefs. They don't like when somebody's really on a righteous path. People like Puff would try to veer you away from the righteous path to see if they could get you onto the evil path. That's his agenda right there, is to turn righteous people wicked.
Integrity. While Doom represents the 5%, the masked villain who actually understands the truth about the music industry and capitalism. But instead of selling out, he chose to educate and uplift through cryptic bars and underground art. He warned others to stay aware and keep their morals and ethics intact, refusing to be a cog in the machine. So this contrast isn't just about rap styles or fame. It's deeper than that. You got Diddy, who used his knowledge to manipulate and control, while Doom used it to liberate and expose. In the end, this isn't just a story about two artists. It's about two legacies. MF Doom never sold millions of records. He never won a Grammy. He didn't need to. His music was too layered, too raw, too real.
And he didn't care about selling no millions of records neither. All he needed was his core audience, his following, right? And because the word that you speak righteousness, is going to go out and fall on the people that it needs to fall on. And they're going to receive it. And they're going to act according to it as well.
For the mainstream. But what he left behind is one of the most respected and culturally important bodies of work in hip-hop history. He walked away from the spotlight, but became a legend in the shadows and a symbol of what it means to stay true in a world built on lies. And then there's Diddy, billion-dollar empire, hit records, fame, power, and now broken, alone, and most likely spending the rest of his days behind bars. His name used to be at the top of every chart, but now it's a synonym for depravity, darkness, manipulation, and the worst parts of the music industry. Whatever legacy Diddy thought he was building has crumbled because he chose to serve the dark side. But now let me hear your thoughts.
That's why Jada kissing him was like, no more shiny suits around this time. No more shiny suits. All he cared about was glitter. Man, I'm telling you, that's Satan on earth right there. All he cared about was glitter and shiny things and just living in his low vibration, man. Telling you, this was a beautiful, beautiful breakdown right here. Separating the righteous from the evils of the world. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Big Kish signing out. I'm going, y'all.